The mission to recover stolen goods continues. Today, a joint operation between the police and SANDF is taking place. The operation is aimed at recovering some of the stolen goods following last week's unrest and looting. eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu is in Mabopane tracking that story for us and joins us now for an update. Tell us where you are exactly in Mabopane and what you've witnessed during this operation by SANDF and SAPS, Manqoba.
Well, Tulas, we have now moved. In fact, we are here in Soshanguve, and this is what the army and the police have been doing today. So they've been driving around these different areas here in the north of Pretoria, doing several operations, which include foot as well as mobile patrols. But also, we did see some stop and searches being conducted in some of the areas. And of course, the focus here today is really on some of the hotspots that, where the looting and the vandalism happened last week, but also the focus is also specifically on the crime hotspots in this particular area. So they've been literally going to different businesses. They've been going also to the taxi rank and also checking in terms of compliance of COVID-19, whether people are wearing masks and whether there's social distancing. But also we've seen also officials from the immigration's office who have also been checking whether or not they are undocumented immigrants here. So this operation is a joint operation between the South African Defence Force and the police. But of course it comes at a time when there's been some criticism from some on how some of these operations are conducted. And joining me now to speak more about this to us is Captain Thabo Silo, who speaks on behalf of the South African National Defence Force. Thank you for your time, Captain. Let's start here. Tell us more about this operation that you're doing here today.
Good day to your viewers. The operation started this morning around 8 o'clock, whereby we started off at Batu Plaza and moved to Central City and Mabopane Plaza as well. And we've been also basically moving in our train stations and ensuring that people do comply to COVID-19 regulations. Also, again, showing visibility around the area. Most of the hotspots around here, we've been doing mobile and foot patrol around those areas, yes.
Of course, this comes as there's been criticism against the police and the army as to how they handle some of the search and seizures that we saw. Yesterday, we saw a search and seizure in Sebokeng where, a lot of goods were confiscated, but there were a lot of complaints from community members that the army and the police went into houses where people were not there, and that some of the items that were confiscated actually were properties that belonged to the people themselves. So what orders or guidelines do you have as the SANDF in terms of how these search and seizures should be conducted?
Okay. In terms of searching in people's houses, normally the SAPS will have a warrant to enter into the people's houses and confiscate whatever that does not belong there. But the police, they only move into houses with authority. So in most of the operations that we've been conducting with the SAPS, they had the authority to do so and move into people's houses and confiscate whatever that believe was looted during last week or so.
So was there a warrant, search warrant for the operations that happened yesterday in Sebokeng?
There was a search warrant for
But
that.
you didn't see it being produced to some of the residents there?
Normally, when they move into people's houses, they do confirm that we have a search warrant and we are here to search your houses to look for things that believe that they've been looted. But they do have such warrants when they move into people's houses.
So are you saying that all of these operations so far have been above board, have been, in terms of the law?
Legality.
Are they in fact in line with the law?
The searches are in line with the law. Yes. So there's no operation that will start without all the necessary authorities have been granted. So all the operation that has been taking place, we're within the law.
So what happens then in a case where a person cannot produce a slip? Because, we are humans and we lose things. So what happens in a case where really somebody owns something but they cannot produce a slip? What happens to their goods? Because many residents are saying that their goods are also being taken.
I believe if something is being taken from your houses and I believe that they couldn't produce the slips and stuff, you normally go to where you purchase the goods and there's a record in terms of that shows that you did bought something from that particular shop, and they will give you some sort of documentation that you can produce with the SAPS. But this, at the time that you were coming for to search my house, I didn't have this, but here is the documentation from the shop that I bought this particular item.
And is it also legally correct to go into people's houses if they're not there?
No. All the operations and when entering people's houses, they only went to the houses where people were present. But there's no way we can just break into somebody's houses while they are not there.
But we did see yesterday some doors being actually forced to broken and opened when the people were not there.
That one I cannot answer you. The SAPS has to provide answers for that. But normally, when we continue the operation and the operation that you conduct with the SAPS, most of the houses that they've been through, the residents were there.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your time. That's Captain Thabo Silo, who speaks on behalf of the SANDF. Of course, these operations are set to continue. We do know that this particular Operation Prosper, is targeting mostly KwaZulu-Natal as well as Gauteng. So the SANDF earlier on Tuesday is saying that, in fact, they will continue until October with these particular operations, and really pleading to community members to assist with information where possible on how to recover some of the loot, but also those who are in possession of some of those stolen items to also return them.
Yeah, imagine the administrative burden of having to go to the shop where you bought your TV to say, on the day when police came, I didn't have a receipt for it. I've lost the receipt. Can you guys just check, I bought a TV here 3 months ago. Can you find it for me? Can you imagine that admin from that official that you've just been speaking to there, Manqoba Mchunu? Thank you so much, Manqoba Mchunu, live for us in Soshanguve. Of course, the principle is that people should not benefit from their own illegal conduct, their own criminal conduct. A society shouldn't allow that. But at the same time, you have to balance that with the rights to privacy, Section 14 of the Constitution, which is one of those rights that have been said by the courts to link directly to your right to dignity. So it's a matter of balance, and it's a tricky balance. And I've seen this debate raging on social media. What do you do? Warrantless searches are provided for in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act, but how do they balance with the right to privacy and for people to just not have their privacy violated willy-nilly by the state and its agents? It's a tricky one. I wish I knew what the answers were.